Welcome back to Evil Deedz, and we are playing on Rage2, the Fist of the North Star. And we are in dream mode on the Nanto Shuriken, the dream mode events. Conflicts and ambitions. Judah, the successor of Nanto, had been speaking to Chaza. Judah has come to swear his allegiance to Chaza. Chaza, I hereby pledge my alliance to you. I am the Star of Enchantment. Naturally, I am no match for the Star of the Emperor. Charles smiled but said nothing as Judah continued to talk. Charles, there are a number of men within Nanto who harbour dreams of conquest, of course. You are at the forefront of them all. I shall gather them together and incite chaos. Then I shall bring all of them to you. When one star falls, all six masters of Nanto will fall with it. I think this will bring about the turmoil that you are seeking. Charles slowly opened his mouth to reply. This is where a quick test. The test comes. I suppose you told Rod the same thing. What do you mean? Judah, just who do you think you are talking to? I see that through you everything that you are planning. The Star of Enchantment is a devious star indeed. Now its light shall be extinguished for good. A helping hand. Are you trying to say that teaming up with Raw was some kind of strategy? Charles listened to Judah's explanation. I promised him that I would incite chaos and then go to the save beneath his banner, and that I would take a set of Nanto with me. His Nanto opponents would be weakened greatly, and at the same time, he would gain a new ally. Raw would greet me with open arms. At that time, I would take my men from Nanto, and Raw would be. Judah gestured a slash across his throat. It's not a bad proposal for you, don't you agree? After a brief laugh, Charles suddenly pressed his fingers to Judah's throat. Very well, do you as you please. Create chaos throughout the land and set the stage for my entrance. However, I do not tolerate rebellion from anyone. If so much think you betrayed me, you are as good as dead. Lowering Charles's fingers from his throat, Judah knelt and thanked him. As you wish. The final war. The world lay in ruins after the horror of total war. This was the dawn of the new age of violence, and Rob was one of the first to seize his chance. After killing his master, Rob declared himself the conqueror and set out to rule the world through fear. In this post-apocalypse world, the six masters of Nanto gathered to discuss what to do next. The six masters of Nanto are guardians of the six gates of the Emperor's castle. We must work together in order to overcome this chaos. Indeed, however, I do not see the Nanto star of the compassionate mother. Moreover, Shu gazed at Charles, who sat in his throne with his eyes shut. Judah approached Charles and whispered something in his ear. All the preparations are complete. A smile spread across Charles's face. There is an army headed this way. It is being led by Rhaegar of Tyson Tenfranken. Charles opened his eyes and stood up. That follows to add to the chaos? No matter. I shall make a grand showing of crushing him. It will be a fitting collaboration. Frodo had been secretly eavesdropping on their conversation. He had been added to spy on the Nanto Shuriken successes by Rickon of the Oceans. It is just as Rickon had anticipated. There are cracks forming within the ranks of Nanto, and I hope that we are not thrown back into chaos. Loading screens everywhere. Force of Uria. Who do you think it is? It's gonna be Shin. Yep. Judo approached Shin after the battle. Ro has killed his master and left the Hokuto dojo, and who do you suppose has been named an Hokuto Shuriken successor? Haven't you heard? Judo continued talking as Shin maintained his silence. It is the youngest brother Kensho, so in one fell swoop he managed to become successor and win the love of a beautiful Yuria. What are you trying to say? I think you know. You were in love with Yuria, were you not? Does that not bother you? So what if it does? Yuria belongs to Kensho now. Shin stalked hurriedly away. I can see through you, Shin. Within your heart you still have feelings for Yuria. Your obsession, it shall become a seed of chaos. Judy chuckled. My old friend. After the battle, Shu and Ray met in secret. Ray, as my closest friend, there is something I wish to talk to you about. I have a feeling that Charles is going to use this chaos as an excuse to rise up. His ambition is as clear as day. I must put a stop to him. However, he is a star with dominance. I cannot take him alone. I understand. I'll do what I can to help. Erin's wedding is drawing near. Despite the times we live in, she is trying her best to be happy. If Charles raises up the land, we will fall even greater chaos. As the successor of Nanto Shuriken, as her brother, I refuse to let that happen. Ray extended his hand to Shu. In this chaos, the only people I can trust are my friends. Sure, let us fight together, so that we can restore peace. Indeed. Shu warmly gripped Ray's hand and pulled it straight off. The 5 chariot guardians. After defeating Reagan, Frodo reported back to Rico of the Oceans. Frodo, thank you for your help. Lady Yuria. Scenes with Master Kensho as presented, there is no need to worry. Hokuto and Nanto are two halves of a single whole of the land that can only know true peace when the two have become one. In other words, as long as the two of them are together, the chaos will not deepen any further. However, Ro, the star of Tuna, has risen and seeks to throw the land into turmoil. It is possible that danger will befall all of them. It is imperative that we 5 chariot guardians keep a close watch on 2 of them from now on. The 5 chariot guardians of Nanto were the protectors of the Nanto star of the compassionate mother. They represented the 5 elements. However, only 4 were present. And Judger of the Clouds. He has already set out on a journey of his own. He is a talented man, so it's unfortunate to lose him. I understand how Jezza feels. For his sake as well, we must protect Lady Yuria. Yes, we must fight for the smile of our general. That is what the people of this land and Jezza himself would want us to do. Raigan agreed with the other men. Frodo, I would like you to keep monitoring Nanto Shuriken's successes. Everybody else, please look after Master Kensho and Lady Yuria. The 5 chariot gardens surprised after Raku gave his orders. Dispersed. The Holy Emperor rises. Chowser was sitting in the throne as Judas slowly approached him. I believe we must prepare for action. Yes, the timing is right. You shall lead the 23 sects of Nanto and start the rebellion from within. I will raise up shortly after as the Holy Emperor that will lead this land. Yes, my lord. Judah bowed and was about to leave Charles's presence. Judah. Judah froze in his tracks when he heard Charles's voice. I know to betray you means death. I should not be so foolish as to cross the Holy Emperor. I understand. The Star of Enchantment is an imputed star indeed. Judah smiled as he left the throne room. Later, Charles declared himself the Holy Emperor and began his path to conquest, but not everything would go as planned. The 6 masters of Nanto who stood against Charles had marched into his town. Charles's ambition. A few days after Ro had declared himself Kenho, Judah of Nanto made his move. Together with 23 sects of Nanto, he forged an alliance with Ro. In response to Judah's action, Charles declared himself the Holy Emperor and prepared to set out to the path to conquest. He seized control of the Nanto sect after another, who had been thrown into chaos by Judah's rebellion. A mighty army was created in very little time. Meanwhile, there were those within Nanto who yielded for peace. They were led by Rage2. The two led their men towards Charles's town. Ray, this is our only chance to stop Charles. If he manages to solidify his power, we will be helpless to do anything. You're right, we need to hurry. Shin, who had been pursued to help by Ray, also headed towards Charles. I shall go and see what Charles is plotting for myself. And Frodo had already snuck inside Charles's town. Don't know how, to be. For the sake of Lady Yuria, we must put a stop to Charles's ambition. Each of the 6 masters of Nanto, with the exceptions of Yuria, had gathered to face the Holy Emperor. And it still couldn't be him. The 6 masters divided. The Nantos advocated for peace, found their victory was short-lived. After the battle, Ray asked Shin to help them again in the future. If we Nanto masters combine our strength, we can stop Charles. However, if we become fratted, we will be playing right into his hands. He will look to use the power to force people into submission and make the world his own. We must prevent that, if nothing else. Ray, is that so wrong? Taking what you want by sheer force? We no longer live in a civilized age, you know. Shin turned his back on Ray and left. Shin. Losing one of the six masters of Nanto could only lead to their demise. Tragedy was about to begin. Judy's rebellion, Charles' quest for total domination, and destroyed the united of the six masters of Nanto. The mountain anguished. Ro had thrown Hokuto into disarray, and Charles had reduced Nanto. Frodo headed to the Hokuto dojo to warn Yuri of these rapidly changing times. Yuri happened to see Frodo run towards him. Frodo. There Yuri are. It has been a long time. Frodo told her about the disturbing changes in Hokuto and Nanto. Thank you, Frodo. I have him with me now, so I will be fine. Yuri looked up and smiled shyly at Kensho. But Yuri held Frodo's hand. Do you remember when I put that puppy in your hand? You were so surprised. Frodo, you do not need to worry about me. Please use those hands of yours to protect the lives of others who are small and in need of help. Lady Yuria. Yuria looked up at Kensho again. I decided to go on a journey with you in search of a place where we can live in peace. I see. I shall be praying for your safe passage. Thank you, Frodo. Yuri ran over to Kensho with a big smile on her face. Only one supreme star. Is that back to Charles then? After the battle, Shu snuck into Charles' camp. There he found him, sitting on his throne. Shu stood behind the throne. Charles began to speak without turning around. I can tell that you are secretly plotting against me. Charles, I cannot obey you. I do not approve the way you do things. If you are unwilling to change your path, Charles let out a low laugh. If you came all the way here, just tell me that. You are too weak, Shu. All you have is simply attack me from behind. Shu did not move. An emperor never shows remorse and never changes his path. If you wish to take my life, then you will be welcome to try whenever you like. That is unfortunate, Charles. Shu withdrew slightly, silently. Later, Shu returned to his village and began gathering weapons and soldiers. He was prepared the resistance movement against the Holy Imperial Army. Father, you went to see Charles, didn't you? Why don't you kill him when you had the chance? Shiva, I am not capable of defeating Charles, and not just because he is the star of dominance. There is love behind Charles' actions. Love for his deceased master, Hoga. Oh, okay. I cannot help but feeling sorry for him. He has tried to abandon that love, and looks to follow a path of conquest. When he had finished talking, Shu raised his head. Only a man who truly harbors love within his heart can defeat Chaozu. I believe Kensho is that man. You mean the one you saved a long time ago? Yes, Kensho possessed the potential within him. This to shine brighter than anyone, and now I hear he has become the successor of Hokuto Shuriken. Kensho, just maybe he can be the one to use love to defeat Chaozu. Shiva watched his father as he spoke longingly of the past. Shiva. Dum, dum. The whisperings of the devil. Rage2 were doing their utmost to put a stop to the ambitions of Charles and Judah. She, meanwhile, refused to take side and remained neutral. That's when he was approached by Sugar and Amoeba. You know as well as I do, Kensho too soft. There is no way he'll be able to survive in this age. If that happens, Uriah will fall into someone else's hands. Sugar and Ami chose their words carefully as they tried to manipulate Shin. Shut up. Take Uriah and make her yours. This is the age in which the devil laughs loudest. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Anyway, Shin suddenly attacked Sugar and Amoeba. Selling the one soul. In the face of Shin's unbridled rage, Sugar and Amoeba backpedals. That's just great with that kind of ruthlessness. Yuri is as good as yours. That's right, embrace your desires. What is there to worry about? Simply take what's yours. Take what you want. Sounds a bit slow. Sugar and Amoeba fight. Ruthlessness might make right. This was the moment that Shin sold his soul to the devil. The pro-peace faction's resistance. This is gonna be good. Charles, the self-proclaimed Holy Emperor, sent his troops out to kill innocent people and kidnap children. Rage2 worked together to fight Charles and try to defend the people from his attack. That is when they received some new information. I hear that Charles has his sights set on the village of orphans. Ray, I would like you for us to protect their children. Sure, why does Charles target children? I do not know, but whatever his reasons, we cannot allow him to take them. I agreed. Meanwhile, Frodo had adopted several children who had lost their parents due to the recent wars. Papa, Frodo, wake up. What's wrong? Do you have to go to the bathroom? No, Papa. There are some soldiers outside the village. What? Everybody, hide. About that time, Rage2 arrived at Frodo's village, where they come across a child in need of aid. Hey, hang in there. The village, please help Papa Frodo. Okay, now don't say another word. Let's go, Ray. We must save the village. Ray handed the wounded girl to a soldier and entered Frodo's village with Sugar. Protecting life. This will be the last one. The Holy Imperial Army retreated, however, it was only a matter of time before they struck the village again. Rage2 tried to convince Frodo to relocate. We cannot continue traveling with this many children. I'll make my stand here and protect them. But Frodo held up a hand. Master Ray, our general, has asked me to protect those lives of those too small and weak to defend themselves. The stars of the five chariot guardians of Nanto exist to give their lives to our general in need. I plan on fulfilling my duty until the very end. She patted Ray on the shoulder. Let's go, Ray. Once Frodo has set his mind on something, nothing can pursue him. Don't die on us, Frodo. I'll be fine. How could I die and leave all these children behind? She spoke softly to Frodo as he left. Frodo, from now on I promise to be more like you. I will protect the children, the future of this land. The natural star of the compassionate mother. I am sure that your general is a more strong and kind person. Yes, our general star never fails to light the way for the children that live in the darkness of this chaos. Frodo remained to protect the children until the day Kensho arrived. He had fulfilled his promise to Yuria. Yeah, the next one would be too long for it. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, subscribe, or comment down below if you want to. It's up to you, you don't have to. And the next one will be Sacrifice. So, in a bit.